Hello friends, welcome to Big Data Testing. In the previous video, I had explained about Big Data Testing basics. Today, I am going to explain about testing Hive operations. Before starting the session, let me introduce myself. I am Ganesh Hegde, working as Senior Engineer at KPro Solutions Private Limited. KPro is a leading provider in Datalake, cloud implementation, IoT, blockchain, data science, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and mobile application development. Let us look at today's agenda. First, I will be giving an introduction to Hive. Then we will understand the data flow in Hive. And finally, we will see data validation in Hive. Hive is a member of Hadoop ecosystem. It is a data warehouse software which facilitates reading, writing, and managing large data sets residing in distributed storage using query language called HQL. Hive is not like RDBMS database. Uh, it is actually facilitates the data residing in Hadoop file system. Let us look at its architecture with this diagram. User will interact with Hive server with the user interface like Hive CLI or Web UI, like Hue, etc. There will be a RDBMS metastore where Hive keeps all its metadata and it will be used during the operation. And the data which need to be processed or operational data is stored in Hadoop distributed file system. User will fire a query through Hive CLI or Web UI and it will be sent to Hive QL process engine. Lot of optimization will happen and finally it will be converted to MapReduce job and it will be executed on the cluster like any other MapReduce job. And finally the result will be returned to Hive CLI or Web UI wherever the query was fired. Let us understand the data flow in Hive. The Hive tables are classified into two types, managed tables and external table. In managed tables, user will not control the location of the data which will be stored in HDFS. So user, whatever the data inserted into managed table will go to warehouse directory. Inside that some subdirectories will contain that data. And when the table is deleted or dropped, then the data will also get deleted. On the other hand, in external tables, whenever it is created, user has to mention where the data need to be stored in HDFS. And when the table is dropped, the data will not get deleted. So there are two ways to insert data to a Hive tables. One through HQL queries and another through loading the files. So these are the standard syntax from which a data can be inserted into Hive table. And there are two types of command like load data, local in path. If the file is existing in Linux system and if the um, data exists in the HDFS, and from there if we have to put into Hive table, then load data in path need to be used. Let us look at some test scenarios how this can be validated. Consider a Hadoop job has loaded Hive table default.employee successfully from CSV file employee.csv. The CSV file is already present in HDFS location /user /test user /employee.csv. Here is the table structure. I have put some records for better understanding, but you can assume there will be a lots of record in the table. We can do this kind of validation like count check, null check, and data validation. In order to get the count of records from the table, we can run select count star from default.employee query, and it will provide you the count of record. In order to get the count of records from the file, we need to run this kind of command. And when we run this command, there will be header also counted, so we have to take care of that. In order to check any column has a null value, then we need to run a query like this. Select count star from default.employee where employee ID is null. So in this case, if there is any null value in this column, will be returned. Similarly, we can extend this query to other columns. To confirm the null values are not available in the file, we need to create an external table which points to this location. When we create that, it will be easy to check count of records which are null. For data validation, I'm going to use the external table and Hadoop created table, and I will be making a join between them, particularly left outer join and left outer join on the key column employee ID, and wherever the m.employee ID, that is the table which is created by Hadoop jobs employee ID is null. So it will return the records which are not loaded to the table. So if there is any, then it is going to be the issue, and this need to be informed to the developer. So this kind of query can be extended to other columns also to make sure all the data from the file is loaded to the table. See, this is one-time load check, but if we have to check incremental data, then we need to take care of timestamp. Say for example, every day some CSV file is loaded to this table, then that date record need to be fetched during the validation. The second scenario is loading from one Hive table to another Hive table. In this case, customers to customer dimension table. So this is the customer dimension table, and similarly I have put some examples, but you can assume there will be a lots of records. So in this case also we can check for count, null, and data validation, and it is going to be easy because both are tables, and we can run HQL queries. So the first query returns the count of records from customers dimension table, and the second one will return same from customers table. So they are expected to match. If there is an incremental data load, then we need to consider timestamps to match the proper data. So we can check the null records from various columns, key columns particularly, and make sure they are correct. In case of data check, like previous example, we need to do left outer join on key columns, and we need to select null records so that the records which are not loaded will come into the result, and those are the discrepancies, and we need to inform that to developer to fix that. This is all about data validation in Hive operation. Let me quickly summarize today's topic. Initially, I had given an introduction to Hive, Then we understood the data flow in Hive. Then finally, I explained data validation in Hive. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, I will be explaining about MapReduce operations testing pig operations. Kindly provide your valuable feedback as a comment and let us know if you want us to make any technical video of or any issue which you are facing in your project. You may write us at feedback@kpro.co.in. Please visit our YouTube channels like blockchain, cloud, data science, etc. to learn different technology. You may follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to get latest updates. Thank you very much. Let's keep learning.